pivot. I've really been like kind of on this because I think it's one of the keys to success. I think it's one of the things that as students we want to focus on. I mean, I first learned how to pivot. I remember being in school and I started off like not doing good at all. Like not, didn't understand stuff. My study habits weren't good. And had a talk with my mom. And she was like, you have to change your mind. You have to get focused. And so during that period of time, I was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pivot. We're going one way. We're going to switch and go the other way that leads to success. So I made that pivot. And then when I applied myself, did what I had to do, it just, the results came in. The success happened. But I had to make up in my mind to pivot, right? Another thing I think about is, being in the entertainment industry. I started off as a dancer, like waving, popping, gliding, some of the stuff that we're doing in assembly. And then a new form of dance came where it was like, doing choreography with a group. We called it regular dancing. So that was my first pivot where I was like, well, this is different. This is different than what I was training all my life to do one thing, but then I had to pivot. And what happened was it gave me longevity. I was able to continue dancing, but I had more, in my arsenal. I had more that I could do. And then when I got to graduation, talked to a good friend of mine, and he was like, have you ever thought about singing? And so that's one thing I want you to remember. Point number one is when you do pivot, it might be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It might be because I didn't know how to sing. And I was like, I don't know how to sing. I don't know why you want me to do this. And when I started off trying to sing, taking the vocal lessons, learning harmonies, it was a challenge for me. And so, yeah, it might be uncomfortable, but I didn't know that it was going to lead to me getting a record deal, doing movies, doing music videos, becoming a choreographer, just from that one decision to pivot. I was going one way, and then I decided to go another way. The pivot is not just, yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's a major key for my success. It's going to lead me somewhere positive. So yes, it is a pivot. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but this is taking me somewhere and I'm ready. It's ready to make that pivot. Because every time you do it, it's going to lead to success. Right? Just set your mind, right? This is what I'm doing. I'm going to be a successful student. I'm going to be a scholar. This is where I'm going. And make that pivot. Pivot.